Hey, it's Brian Mudd. This is my cheat sheet for Tuesday, December 11th. The question that I chose from one of you loyal listeners, cheat sheeters, it was a really good one and an especially timely one. Not that it's going to be about 401ks and IRAs every day, but I'm okay with it if you keep sending me those questions. I received a question regarding rolling over an old 401k plan with the previous employer over to a Roth IRA. Is this something that you should consider? Is this something that you should do? Potentially, the answer is yes and yes. The rules on this changed going into 2010, and given the uncertainty in Washington, if this is a situation that's appealing to you, you might look to do it before the end of the year, and there's another reason for that as well. First, the process of rolling over a 401k plan. Once you leave an employer, you have the ability to generally leave that plan, leave with the existing plan administrator, or roll it over to anybody you want to roll it over to, including an administrator for your new 401k plan if you're with a new company. What you can take a look at doing is actually rolling it over to a Roth IRA. This was something that previously there were income limits at $100,000 that would no longer make it possible for you to roll it over to a Roth IRA. That's part of what changed in 2010. So if you would like to convert an existing 401k plan, it must be with a previous employer, cannot be your existing and active 401k plan, but you do have the ability to roll it over to a Roth IRA. Of course, the difference between a traditional and a Roth IRA is once you pull the money out of there in retirement, you're not taxed on that money anymore, and you are taxed as you pull money out of a traditional IRA. So that can be a huge benefit. Here's the big but. The big but. If you roll over a traditional traditional 401k into a Roth IRA, you create a taxable event immediately in that tax year on the 401k plan. So the money that you had in there that was pre-tax will be taxed when you roll this over to the Roth IRA. And you don't have to worry about paying taxes again at this point. You can spread that taxable event over 2 years, over 24 months. But if you do this before the end of the year, recognize that you are creating a taxable event for next year's tax filing in April, right here at the end of the year. So you might want to do it in case part of the change in legislation in Washington changes the ability to do this. But at the same time, if you do this before the end of the year, you've got to be prepared to pay taxes on the money that you had contributed to that 401k that was pre-tax originally. In other words, this is all possible. It can be a very good idea, but it probably makes sense to consult your accountant before doing this because you are creating a taxable event right at the end of the year. Very good question, though. And the answer is yes, you can do it. There's been a huge disconnect between gold coin sales and gold prices. I reported that we were pacing what could have been a record November for sales of American gold eagles and even silver eagles. And we did after the election see a run. All told, year over year, the demand for gold coins, American eagles, up 132%. I mean, pretty dramatic. However, you've seen gold prices that have been basically static. So what gives if we have all of this demand, but gold really isn't moving? Well, here's the big thing. It looks like the majority of the sales, not that we aren't buying them, because sales to us are up, but it's dealers, gold dealers, that have been actively buying the majority of these gold and silver eagles, expecting you to come to them looking to buy. So in other words, there's no guarantee that all of this increase in demand in November is going to lead to higher gold prices. That's as subjective as it ever was. So if you buy gold or silver, don't do it because you hear that it's popular right now and you haven't seen the prices of the metals move themselves. It could end up being fool's gold if gold prices drop. Gold and silver prices are still trading as a hedge against inflation and governments around the world. No coin sales from November, no matter how big they were, are going to change the outcome, it would appear, in near-term gold pricing. Real quick, hit the banks. We have the latest consumer satisfaction rankings out of the banks, and there is a definite trend. We see that Chase is now the top big bank in the country, knocking off Wells Fargo this year, but credit unions and smaller banks on average, have far higher customer satisfaction rankings than any of the big banks. And so if you have been thinking about making a move if you're unhappy with your bank to a smaller bank or to a credit union, the odds are you're going to be relatively satisfied. Check out my physical cheat sheet. There's plenty more information there. By the way, your financial advisor, this is the 4th anniversary of the Madoff situation. Are you really comfortable with them being one of the good guys and not taking advantage of you? I'll give you some signs of what to look for. Carnival, by the way, testing all you can drink plans on their ships. That and a whole lot more in the physical cheat sheet today. That is it for the cheat sheet. Remember to send your questions to me. Anything that you'd like me to follow up on, I'll be happy to oblige. One question per day from you. That's it for today. We shall see you tomorrow.